Hello, this is your help video for page 52, number 30. Alright, so this is a great example for you guys. It's definitely going to be something you're going to see on your test and moving on with the class moving forward. So how do you solve an absolute value equation? So I'm going to distinguish between both sides of my equation. And the ultimate goal is to get the x by itself, to have it just say x equals. So in order to do that, you have to get rid of everything else that's happening to it right now. So I see 2 times all of this, and the opposite of that is to divide. So if I do 2 divided by 2, it's going to go away on this side, and you can see I'm one step closer to getting that x by itself. If I divide on this side, though, I need to divide everything on this side as well. So this is now 1/2 x minus 8 over 2 is 4. Again, if you have any trouble at all, or even if you're not having trouble, you always want to use your calculator to kind of back up your calculations. So I'm moving in the right direction, but the x is still not by itself. It's got these absolute value bars around it. And how do you get rid of those? What's the opposite of absolute value? Well, you need to write 2 equations. 7 minus x equals 1/2 x minus 4. So one of them you leave exactly the same, and the other we need to make it a negative. And again, you got to do it to all of this. And now I'm just going to, from now on, do both equations. So I have an x over here and a 1/2 x over here. I got to get those together. They're on opposite sides of the equation, so I need to do the opposite. Okay, and again, this is a 1x. 1 minus 1/2, okay, is 0.5. And then your answers, if it's given to you as fractions, you want to leave them as fractions. So I just want to change that back to a fraction. I'm going to push math, enter, enter. And it'll tell you, okay, that's 1/2. Okay, I still want to get that 1/2 x alone. So instead of subtracting 7, I'm going to add 7. Okay, and then again, just using the calculator to make sure that I am not, making a mistake with my negatives. Okay, and then we've got 1/2 times the x. You can undo that by multiplying by 2 over 1, so it cancels. It also would be correct to say I'm going to divide by 1/2. So if I do 3 divided by 1/2, I get x equals 6. Right? I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I've got a negative 1 here. I'm going to distribute that. So, and again, go ahead and use your calculator, guys. Negative 1 times 1/2. And then you want to change that back to a fraction. And negative 1 times, negative 1 times negative 4. So it's a positive 4. And then, oops, I forgot my x here. I'm going to add 1/2 x. So again, there's a 1 here. So 1/2 is 1/2. And then I'll change that back to a fraction. And then again, add 7. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then to undo that 3 over 2, you can divide by 3 over 2, or when you divide by a fraction, you're really multiplying by the reciprocal. So whichever way makes more sense to you. So I'm going to do 11 times 2 over 3. Let's change that to a fraction again. And there are my solutions. Okay, just be careful if it says to check for extraneous solutions. You got to go back to your original equation and plug in both those answers for x and just make sure that they're both making the statement true. So I'm not going to say you don't have to do that every single time, but if your directions do say check for extraneous solutions, take your answers and plug them back into the original equation just to make sure that they're both solutions. All right.